What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Politics with Steve. All right, y'all, before we get started, I want to ask everybody to take a second, subscribe to my YouTube page, sign up for my email list. Link is below. That is the best way to stay in the loop on all things Politics with Steve. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so we got a lot to talk about today, but we're going to start off talking about Trump and Zelensky meeting on yesterday, Sunday, to discuss a new 20-point peace plan. Now, they met at Mar-a-Lago down in Florida, Trump's resort. And Trump was accompanied by the Russian asset, Steve Witkoff. Just a couple weeks ago, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner met with Russian officials for 5 hours in Moscow to also discuss a peace deal. So I don't know. I just feel like something should have been much closer in the works before today, right? But after the meeting, Trump says that they're in the final stages of coming up with a deal, whatever that means. Side note, let's set aside the Russian-Ukraine stuff for a brief second. I think it's so underreported how Trump is using the office of the presidency to make profit. Like, think about how he's using his office. This man is charging the other foreign governments top dollar to come to Mar-a-Lago to meet him to conduct official U.S. government business. Like, just think about how many people have to travel whenever a foreign leader comes. They got their own reporters, they got their interpreters, they got their security teams, they got whatever negotiating teams that they with, and then they got themselves. They're paying top dollar to stay at Trump resorts or any of his property. I mean, we've heard separate reporting about like how foreign government officials buy nights at Trump's most lavish resorts and hotels just to curry favor with him. Think about this. Every single time he goes from the White House to Mar-a-Lago, the U.S. government has to pay for the Secret Service because they're obligated to protect him no matter where he's at, to pay top dollar to stay at his resort just to protect him. Like, this is crazy. But back to Russia's war on Ukraine. So just today, we heard Sergei Lavrov, who is the Russian foreign minister, accuse the Ukrainians of attacking Putin's personal residences. First of all, none of us should believe anything that comes from any Russian official's mouth. But he claims that because of this, they may have to rethink their negotiation tactics. Listen, they never wanted to negotiate a peace deal. By the way, Ukrainians who I do trust say that it didn't happen. Now, we all know who the Trump administration will believe. Think about this. Trump meets with Putin before and after he meets with Zelensky. He actually just wrapped up a call with Putin. We still waiting for reporting on like what exactly was talked about, but there still was no mention of a peace deal being accepted. So let's think about what's preventing a peace deal, right? First of all, we got security guarantees. What that means, what's stopping Putin from just doing this again? Hey, he took Crimea and he invaded Ukraine again in 2022. I mean, like, he clearly desired for the old Soviet Union to be back in place. Like, he clearly want all of the Baltic states, Poland. He's already got Belarus to be basically a puppet state. So that's what he wants. Democrats, Republicans, people in Congress, we all used to agree to don't trust Putin. In a case of Russia's war against Ukraine, Putin is the aggressor. I mean, he's a murderous authoritarian and just a straight liar. But again, these used to be universally accepted facts prior to Donald Trump, right? The second thing that's holding up this peace deal is land concessions, because Putin wants more land than what his military was even able to take. And honestly, the only way to get Putin to agree to any of these peace deals is to put pressure on Russia. And you got to do that financially through sanctions on, Russian oil, make it so much more expensive for Russia to sell oil because that is a primary source of the country's revenue. Another way to put pressure on them to get them to accept this peace deal is militarily. I mean, we got to keep continuing to provide assistance for Ukraine on the battlefield. I mean, funding their war efforts, providing weapons, and, just all of that. But Trump is not doing any of that. And we haven't heard reporting specifically about this latest meeting, but we do know that the last time that Zelensky was here and Trump met with Zelensky, the meeting was reportedly hostile. I mean, we heard that Trump was talking to Zelensky in a hostile manner, and he was pissed that Zelensky was unwilling to just hand over territory to Russia as part of any peace plan. Now, I want y'all to remember, Trump said he will have this war figured out day one. Like, let's take a listen to that.
I will prevent, and very easily, World War III, very easily. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly.
Before he take office.
Quickly. I will get the problem solved, and I will get it solved in rapid order, and it will take me no longer than one day. I know exactly what to say to each of them. I got along very well with them.
So we just heard it right there. He says that, he could have this done in one day. Somebody tell me how many days he's been the president and this war still hasn't ended. Man, look, I don't know any other politician that can just lie on a campaign and just promise so much stuff. And then when he becomes president, just get away with it. Like, just factual lies. You said you would end it before you even took office, and that didn't happen. That is just a fact that it's a lie. Like, you can't even spin that into being the truth. But he just get away with it. But that's neither here nor there. Not only did he not end the war, he has not even made any progress. I mean, since Trump took office this second time, the U.S. sent almost no new equipment to Russia. And the war is basically in the same spot. I mean, there may be like a little bit of land changes. I think Russia probably took a little bit more land, but not a significant amount. I mean, the only significant difference is Trump allows Russia to engage in just savage bombing campaigns of Ukraine. I mean, just a day ago, we seen that Russia bombed another civilian population. By the way, they significantly increased their bombings of civilian populations under Trump, which is illegal. Like, it is just illegal to do, even in a conflict. You cannot just bomb civilian populations and not military infrastructure. So I'm still waiting for the reporting on the specifics of this last meeting that happened yesterday. Doubtful that it went well. We already see that there was no peace plan that came about. And if we remember last time that Trump didn't get Zelensky to accept the peace plan, Putin was pissed with him. Putin embarrassed Trump because when Trump was telling everybody that he had a meeting with Putin in Budapest, Putin said that he didn't. And when people asked Putin, was it postponed? He basically said, you can't postpone something that was never scheduled. So, again, we waiting on reporting. We want to see what happened, but this ain't looking good. We're going to continue to talk about it.